we're going to start off with Villa versus Leicester. We've actually been able to have a quick chat with Dan Middleton, who is a Leicester City fan. You may remember him from Let's Talk Sport as well. And he has given us his views ahead of Tuesday night's game. As, of course, let's not forget, it is 1-1 on the aggregate scoreline at this moment in time.
Well, a very good evening, Jamie, and thank you for having me on the show, matey. It's been a long time since we spoke. So, yeah, from a Leicester fans' point of view, I think this will be quite an interesting game. Obviously, the 1-1 was not the ideal result for us. I thought they had really good spells, and obviously took the chances when they had them, and we really didn't get out of sort of second gear as what we're used to. Coming to the second leg, I think Villa will be the happier of the two sides. Obviously, being away from home in the first leg, getting the return leg at Villa Park, I think, is a massive boost in front of their own fans. To get down to Wembley, I think is always a big plus. But I think for us, coming off the back of a really, really solid win in the league against West Ham, I thought we were outstanding. I thought we were back to our best, especially after losing 2 games on the spin prior to that against teams that really we should be getting some points from. The big boost for us from a Leicester point of view is obviously Jamie Vardy and his fitness. It looks like he'll be fit for the match, obviously with a glute injury that he picked up against West Ham in that 4-1 win. At first we all thought it was a hamstring injury, and it wasn't ideal, but obviously confirmed from Brendan Rodgers that that's not the case, and he should be okay. So that's a massive boost for us going into this game. I think overall, it'd be a very, very intriguing game. I think there's a lot riding on it, as you know. And I'm potentially the Villa fan might agree that it's really the only bit of silverware that both teams are going to be getting this year. So the risk and the reward are both massive, and it's whether it's what either team is going to go out there and take control and really want to get that victory and get to Wembley. I think we'll have enough. I think especially with that confidence boosting win against West Ham, I think we'll come into it all guns blazing, and hopefully we'll do the business, but it'll be no easy task. If I'm going to go for a result, as I know that you always used to ask me, Jamie, I'm going to go with Leicester 3, Aston Villa 1. I'm going to go quite bold here, but I think we'll have a little bit too much, and obviously the fresh legs that we'll have in our team that we've got at our disposal, I think will see us over the line and we'll book our place in the final of the Carabao Cup.
Well, here we are again then. It's well, as you can tell, Leicester City fan Dan Middleton is very confident his team could beat Aston Villa in the second leg. Well, I'm delighted to join by an Aston Villa fan to rival his comments, and that is James Harrington. James, welcome to the show.
Oh, hello, Jamie. What an honour it is to be on your show.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Of course, James, you've probably heard Dan's comment. The first leg went really well. And of course, with how the first leg went for Villa away at Leicester, do you feel as though Aston Villa could get the job done and upset the odds?
I think that's an interesting question. I was very much surprised that Villa got a a draw at Leicester City. But I think, looking at the squad, I'm optimistic. Got a new striker. We've hit a bit of form at the moment, picked up some wins in the league. And I think Villa Park will be rocking. So hopefully we can cause an upset because we are the underdogs.
I mean, Villa have had a difficult season, but I guess the aim at the start of the season was to stay up. Who'd have thought they could get into a League Cup final?
Well, yeah, some people will say we had an easy run playing Liverpool kids and some of the lower league teams earlier on. But at the end of the day, it's a piece of silverware. And to get this far is it was a massive achievement for Dean and the side. So I'm over the moon, and hopefully we can kind of finish the job off. But obviously, Premier League survival is one of the most important things. But who doesn't want a day out at Wembley?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, last year you had a great trip at Wembley, but let's not forget when you last got to a cup final, you got relegated the season after.
Yeah, so I think you're talking about the FA Cup defeat at Arsenal, which is probably one of the worst days of me being a Villa fan. I was very upset. I was in Birmingham at the time. But I've been to Wembley since. I mean, it's been 50-50, lost to Fulham, win against Derby. So fingers crossed, whoever's in the final, probably going to be Man City, we could beat them. I mean, I'm crossing my toes even as we're speaking right now.
And of course, James, you look at how Villa have been this season. You know, Jack Grealish has been the talk of the town. He's been linked to Liverpool, Man United, all the big clubs you can think of want a piece of Jack Grealish. So I guess for him as well, if this was to be his last season at Villa, just winning a trophy before he would leave Villa Park would be an absolute cherry on the cake.
Well, I hope he doesn't leave Villa Park. I'm one of those Villa fans that are hoping that his heartstrings will keep him at Villa. But yeah, I definitely think it would be massive to keep us up and possibly win. But that being said, there are some big players in the team this season. Sky Sports did a Jack Grealish is carrying Aston Villa. Well, actually, there's some leadership across the pitch. You're looking at Tyrone Mings, Conor Halloran. Other players have stepped up at times when it's needed. So whilst Jack is going to get all the plaudits, and he very much deserves it, I think what the Leicester performance showed, that there is a team coming together, and hopefully with the likes of Samatta, Davies probably coming to the fold tomorrow, it can be their moment to shine.
And I guess really the obvious thing to say now is, ahead of the game, is for Villa Park to be loud and noisy and to distract those Leicester City players, including, well, it looks as though Jamie Vardy could be fit for this game, so that's one player you want to keep quiet tomorrow night.
Oh, when I saw Vardy was fit and when I was listening to the other fan, I was, okay, I got a bit nervous, but Villa under the lights, we've had some big games there, Everton and Watford, and we've been able to turn results out. I'm optimistic. Well, I have to be. There's no point being negative. It's a semi-final. You've got to go for a win. So I hope the boys will be able to do it, put in a good performance, worthwhile wearing the shirt. And so fingers crossed, we get a few goals and hopefully send Leicester packing.
Well, of course, Dan's not here to go against your comments because he's sadly at work. But Dan said 3-1 in this second leg. What are you going to go for?
I'm going to say a tight affair. Possibly goes to extra time. Villa nick it with one goal. And you know what? I'm going to say Freddie Gilbert is going to do it again. He's going to score again. Let's just go for something a bit random like that.
Have you checked the odds on that?
No, I have not. Okay, that was a ridiculous shout. Let's just hope Samatta gets a debut goal. Something along those lines. Something more realistic.